Welcome to our channel. Today, we take you on a journey into the deserts of Egypt, where some of the greatest mysteries of the ancient world still stand tall. The Pyramids of Giza, known in Urdu as Ahram-e-Misar. For over 4,500 years, these monuments have stood against time, weather, and even human conquest. They are the last surviving wonders of the ancient world, and they continue to amaze us with their size, precision, and secrets. But what are the pyramids really? Who built them, and why? And what mysteries do they still keep hidden in their massive stones? Stay with us as we uncover the full story of the Pyramids of Egypt, a story of kings and slaves, gods and rituals, mystery and immortality. The story of the pyramids begins with the Nile River. The Nile was the heartbeat of ancient Egypt, providing water, fertile soil, and a lifeline for trade and survival. Around this river, one of the greatest civilizations in human history rose. But life in Egypt wasn't just about survival. It was about eternity. The ancient Egyptians believed that life on Earth was only the beginning. True life continued after death, in another world, the afterlife. For them, death was not an end, but a doorway. And to pass through this doorway safely, they believed the body had to be preserved, and the soul guided with rituals, treasures, and prayers. This belief shaped everything about their society, from religion to architecture. The Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, was considered both a ruler and a god. His duty was not only to govern the land, but to keep balance in the universe, what the Egyptians called Ma'at, the principle of order, justice, and harmony. When a pharaoh died, his spirit was believed to join the gods in the afterlife. But for this to happen, his body had to be protected, and his soul given a safe passage. This is where the pyramids came in. They were not just tombs, they were stairways to heaven, eternal houses for the kings who wanted to live forever. The earliest Egyptian tombs were simple pits in the sand. Over time, they evolved into mud brick structures known as mastabas. These mastabas were rectangular, flat-roofed buildings where the bodies of nobles and rulers were buried, along with treasures, food, and tools for the afterlife. But around 2700 BC, under Pharaoh Djoser, something revolutionary happened. His chief architect, Imhotep, had the idea to stack mastabas on top of each other, creating the world's first pyramid, the Step Pyramid of Saqqara. This pyramid was a breakthrough in architecture and religious symbolism. For the first time, a tomb reached towards the sky, symbolizing the pharaoh's ascent to the heavens. Imhotep's design changed history forever. After Djoser's Step Pyramid, other pharaohs tried to build pyramids too, experimenting with shape and size. Some early pyramids failed and collapsed due to design flaws, like the bent pyramid at Dahshur, which changes angle halfway up because its original steep slope was unstable. But with each attempt, Egyptian builders learned more about engineering, mathematics, and astronomy. Finally, during the 4th dynasty, Egypt reached the peak of pyramid building, and the greatest pyramids of all time were created on the Giza Plateau. The largest of them, the Great Pyramid, was built for Pharaoh Khufu, also known by the Greek name Cheops. Completed around 2560 BC, this pyramid originally stood at 146 meters tall, about the height of a 45-story building. For more than 3,800 years, it was the tallest structure in the world. Its base covers over 13 acres, and each side is perfectly aligned with the 4 cardinal directions: north, south, east, and west. The precision is so incredible that even modern architects are left amazed. Some sides of the pyramid are misaligned by less than a fraction of a degree. But how did they build it? The Great Pyramid consists of over 2.3 million stone blocks, each weighing between 2 and 30 tons, with some as heavy as 70 tons. These blocks were cut from nearby quarries and transported across the desert. Theories suggest that ramps, sledges, ropes, and manpower were used, but no one knows the exact method. What we do know is that it took tens of thousands of workers, not slaves as once believed, but skilled laborers, farmers during the off-season, and craftsmen who were paid in food, beer, and shelter. Archaeological evidence, including workers' villages near Giza, shows that this was a massive national project that united the entire country. Inside the Great Pyramid, the design is just as impressive as the outside. The pyramid contains passageways, chambers, and shafts that seem to serve both practical and symbolic purposes. The king's chamber, made of massive granite blocks brought from Aswan, lies deep inside. Above it are 5 relieving chambers designed to distribute the pyramid's weight, preventing collapse. Narrow shafts connect the chambers to the outside, aligned with specific stars, such as Orion's Belt and the North Star. These alignments reflect the Egyptian belief in the afterlife and the soul's journey to the heavens. Next to Khufu's pyramid stands the pyramid of his son, Khafra, slightly smaller but built on higher ground, making it appear taller. Khafra's pyramid is also guarded by the Great Sphinx, a colossal limestone statue with the body of a lion and the head of a pharaoh, believed to represent Khafra himself. The Sphinx symbolizes strength and wisdom, protecting the tombs from evil forces. The third pyramid at Giza belongs to Menkaure, smaller than the others, but still magnificent, surrounded by smaller pyramids for his queens. Together, Khufu, Khafre, and Menkaure created the iconic trio of pyramids that still dominate the Giza Plateau today. Over the centuries, the pyramids became targets for tomb robbers, who broke into the chambers in search of gold, jewelry, and treasures buried with the kings. By the time archaeologists entered the pyramids in modern times, most of the treasures were long gone. But even without the riches, the pyramids themselves are priceless treasures of history. They show us the incredible skill, determination, and beliefs of a civilization that flourished thousands of years ago. The pyramids are more than engineering marvels. They are also astronomical observatories. The Egyptians carefully aligned them with the stars and the path of the sun. The Great Pyramid's sides are almost perfectly aligned with the cardinal points, a level of accuracy difficult to achieve even today without advanced instruments. This alignment was not only symbolic, but also practical, connecting the pharaoh's tomb with the eternal cycles of the cosmos. But with all this knowledge, mysteries remain. How exactly were the stones lifted into place? How did the Egyptians manage such precision with simple copper tools? Why do some chambers remain unfinished? And what about the hidden rooms? In recent years, scientists using advanced scanning technology have discovered voids inside the Great Pyramid, spaces that may be hidden chambers, untouched for millennia. What lies inside them remains one of history's greatest mysteries. As centuries passed, Egypt's power faded. The golden age of pyramid building ended after the Old Kingdom, around 2200 BC. Later pharaohs were buried in the Valley of the Kings, in hidden tombs carved into cliffs, perhaps because pyramids were too obvious and vulnerable to robbers. But by then, the pyramids had already secured their place in history. In the time of the Greeks and Romans, the pyramids were already thousands of years old. Travelers like Herodotus, known as the father of history, visited Egypt and wrote about them, though not always accurately. Medieval Arab scholars also studied the pyramids, often weaving myths and legends around them. Some believed the pyramids were storehouses of ancient knowledge, built before the Great Flood. Others thought they held magical secrets. These stories kept the pyramids alive in human imagination long after the pharaohs were forgotten. In modern times, the pyramids stand not only as archaeological sites, but as global symbols. Millions of tourists visit each year, gazing up at these ancient wonders with the same awe felt by Egyptians thousands of years ago. Yet, even with centuries of research, mysteries remain. How exactly were the enormous granite blocks of Khafra's pyramid transported from Aswan, hundreds of miles away? How were the precise internal chambers designed, aligned, and ventilated without advanced tools? Why were certain shafts pointed to specific stars, and what rituals were once performed inside? Some scientists suggest that ramps, levers, and sledges explain the construction. Others propose more complex methods, including internal spiral ramps. Each new theory brings us closer, but the complete truth may never be known. And perhaps that is part of the pyramid's magic, that they will always keep some of their secrets. The people of ancient Egypt saw the pyramids not as mysteries, but as sacred truths. They believed these mighty structures secured their king's place among the gods, ensuring harmony for the land. The Nile would flood, crops would grow, and life would continue in balance. The pyramid was a promise, a guarantee that order would triumph over chaos. Standing before the Great Pyramid today, you feel its overwhelming presence. Its massive stones radiate silence, as if holding the weight of history itself. You realize that you are looking at the last surviving wonder of the ancient world, still standing when all the others have crumbled. It has outlasted empires, conquests, and natural disasters. Generations of explorers, adventurers, and scientists have studied the pyramids, yet their allure has only grown stronger. From the myths of treasure-filled chambers to modern laser scans revealing hidden passages, each discovery renews our fascination. These monuments are living bridges to the past, constantly speaking, if only we learn how to listen. And yet, beyond the history and the mystery, the pyramids teach us something deeper. They remind us that greatness comes from unity. Tens of thousands of ordinary people, farmers, craftsmen, engineers, came together under the vision of a pharaoh to create something eternal. Their combined efforts created a structure so strong it still touches the sky after 45 centuries. The pyramids also remind us of mortality and ambition. The pharaohs who commissioned them are long gone, their kingdoms dissolved into dust, yet the stones remain. Their names, Khufu, Khafre, Menkaure, echo across time because of these monuments. In a way, they succeeded. Their quest for immortality, though imperfect, worked. As night falls over Giza, the pyramids take on a different power. The desert cools, the stars emerge, and the great silhouettes rise against the sky. The alignment with Orion and the North Star becomes clear, just as the ancient builders intended. It is in these moments that the pyramids feel less like tombs and more like cosmic gateways, links between heaven and earth. Today, scientists, historians, and dreamers from around the world continue to study the pyramids. Each stone, each inscription, each chamber is a clue in a story still unfolding. And while many questions have been answered, others remain open, waiting for future generations to explore. The pyramids of Egypt are not only monuments to the dead, they are monuments to life, to ambition, and to the eternal human spirit. They remind us that though we are small in the face of time, we are capable of leaving behind greatness that can endure beyond imagination. So the next time you see an image of the pyramids, remember, they are not just piles of stone in the desert. They are messages carved in rock, sent across thousands of years, whispering the hopes, fears, and dreams of an ancient people. They are reminders of what humanity can achieve when it dares to dream on the scale of eternity, and perhaps that is why they continue to captivate us. Because deep down, the pyramids are not only the story of Egypt, they are the story of us all. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the heart of ancient Egypt, where mystery, power, and eternity meet beneath the burning desert sun. If you enjoyed this exploration, don't forget to like this video, share it with history lovers, and subscribe to our channel for more incredible stories from the past. Until next time, keep wondering, keep exploring, and keep chasing the mysteries of history.